welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Sheila of bountifulcook.com, and today I'm going to share with you my mac and cheese recipe. Now this is very easy to actually put together, very easy to master, and I know for a fact that when you make this over Christmas, you will have your guests asking for more, so make sure that you make enough. So stay tuned and see how I make the mac and cheese.
You can find all the ingredients that I use for this mac and cheese in the description box below. The first step is to boil the macaroni pasta, also known as elbow pasta. Drizzle some sea salt into the water. Add the pasta to the water. Stir the pasta around to make sure that the salt, water and pasta are fully incorporated. You can now place a lid over the pot and leave the pasta to boil for about 8 to 10 minutes. Make sure that you supervise the pot because the pasta water will overflow. After 10 minutes, the pasta is ready. And as you can see, it is beautifully cooked, not overcooked, not undercooked. It is al dente, as you can see. And this is perfect as it will continue to cook once we mix it up with our sauce. The next thing you want to do is to rinse your pasta under cold water. This is great as you are draining the starchy water and at the same time cooling down the pasta, giving you enough time to make your roux or your white sauce for the mac and cheese. Once you're done with rinsing the pasta, set it aside, ready for when you want to mix the mac and cheese. Step 2. Make the roux by melting butter in a hot saucepan. The key here is to make sure that your butter has fully melted before you add the plain flour. Now what you want to do is to add little by little and allow it to combine into a smooth, creamy texture. The purpose of cooking the flour in the butter is to cook the rawness out of the flour, because naturally flour has its own taste, but unless you cook it out, you will always have that distinct taste. Once you've achieved that, what you want to do is to go ahead and add some evaporated milk. This will up the creaminess of the mac and cheese, so you definitely do not want to miss out on this step. And at this point, you can use your whisk go ahead and add some whole milk to your mix. And at this point, you really want to go ahead and work in the whisk to make sure that the texture is consistent all over. Just keep adding your milk little by little until you get that nice creamy texture. ahead and add some Dijon Mustard. I like to add this because it adds a little bit more to the flavor of the roux and also works well for the color. Time to sprinkle a little nutmeg into the roux. Now this is great for the aroma and it's also brilliant for flavor. Okay, so it is cheese time. You're going to add some cheddar cheese as well as some red Leicester cheese into the roux and allow this to melt. You definitely want to go ahead and stir it in so that the cheese can melt evenly. And of course, you can always add whichever cheese you prefer. Then at this point, I'd add some sea salt just to bring in a little bit more flavor. And just keep stirring. Now to add our final cheese. We're going to add the mozzarella cheese into the roux and allow this to melt. Once again, go ahead and stir it in until it melts and combines and becomes a nice smooth sauce. And just like that, you're done. And now we're ready to assemble the mac and cheese. So what you can see me doing here is layering up my mac and cheese, but this is completely optional. If you do not have the time to do all these extra bits like I'm doing right now, I would recommend using a large saucepan or a mixing bowl, adding the pasta, and then layering it on with the roux and just combining it roughly with a wooden spoon, therefore saving yourself time. And once you've done that, you can then transfer it onto a baking dish and it will honestly just save you so much time. So no need for the extraness. Okay, let the fun begin. It's time to sprinkle your choice of cheese on top of the mac and cheese. Now this will ensure that we get that nice brown and crunchy finish on our mac and cheese. And if you like the edges of the mac and cheese, as I've come to know that there are a lot of people who like the nice crispy and crunchy edges of the mac and cheese, ensure that you add extra cheese along the corners. It's already looking edible, but of course we first have to bake it so we can enjoy it. So you can put that in the oven for 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, you can see that golden brown mac and cheese just bubbling away. And you're done. Now I served my mac and cheese with some oven fried chicken. You can find the recipe for that in the description box. Thank you very much for staying tuned until the very end. As always, do not forget to like, share and subscribe and turn on your notification bells.